on a mission, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind, in the darkness all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be, for justice wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When these crime busters run, no victims left to pay. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? Give it a second here and let everybody come in. Anyone there yet? All right. So tonight we are going to talk a little bit about the possible alleged abuse that Sebastian experienced. I'm going to go over a few things and just see if some of the symptoms fit maybe some of the behaviors that he was doing. Before we get into that, I did want to say that I've heard through the grapevine that Seth, Chris, and Katie are supposed to be on America's Most Wanted. So that will be interesting. And it's just the three of them. John Walsh does a really good job with that show, and that is seen by millions. So that would be awesome to get Sebastian's name and face out there on that channel. So I'm really happy about that. I hope that is true. And I've heard something else. Hello, K9. Good to see you. I've heard we're supposed to be getting other information as well. Mob Crew kind of talked about it, and another creator talked about it. So, I mean, I don't think it's anything like huge, like is finding Sebastian or anything like that. But any news is always good news. America's Most Wanted is to come out at the end of April, 1st of May. Gotcha. It seems like a long time, doesn't it? Yeah, it just seems like a long time to me. It's like, oh no, we want him found by the end of April, 1st of May, right? But it has been a year. I guess when you look at things like that, it makes sense, right? But so what I wanted to do was just to kind of go through the signs of child abuse, the signs of SA abuse, how to spot them, and just look at some of these signs and see if we think that Sebastian was showing any of these signs according to what we've heard, right? Kind of a tough thing to talk about. Is that what she said? The case is starting to go cold. That's sad. Because if she's thinking that way, that's worrisome, right? That's really worrisome because she is a professional. So that is really scary. And I've noticed that people are not talking about him quite as often. Some of our well-known creators, right? And it gets not tiring, but what's the word I want to use? It gets difficult to try to find new things to talk about when there is no new news, right? So I can understand why that's happening. And that's another reason why he's not on the TBI active missing persons list. Wow. That's not good. Um, somebody said that before, but I found him on there. Let me see if I can find him. TBI.gov. He wasn't. Um, he wasn't on the front page. But let me look here. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm looking up here. So people know I'm not trying to lie to them. And this is Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Active missing child alerts. He's right on the top. So, Canine, whoever said that is wrong. I mean, you go right to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, right? Go to Tennessee's missing persons, active missing child alerts. He's right there at the top. And somebody had said that before, and I discovered that they were wrong as well. Yes, Seth will be doing a live. I have the link at pinned to the top of our channel. I did that even before we started tonight. Neither is Summer. Let me look. Colin Snap, Layla Santinello. Summer Wells is right there. Active missing child alerts. So you're getting wrong information from somebody, K9. Oh, Jen just said it, not me. Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's wrong information because you see it right here. I just looked it up and it's, Summer's right there. Sebastian was right at the top. I have Holland Snap, Layla Santinello, Kennedy Hoyle, Summer Wells. Look at these children. Sad, sad, sad. But yes, they're all right there. Hello, Melissa. He's not in the FBI. Well, let's go there, guys. All right. Help find fugitives and missing persons. Kidnapping, missing persons. There he is. He's right there. So I don't know where you guys are hearing this information. You know, you look at how long it took me to look it up, right? It doesn't, you know. So yes, he is Robin. He's on FBI. That's the page right there, and you can see his cute little smile. Yeah, and see, maybe she heard it from somebody, right? So that's how rumors get, So yeah, he's still on all of them, guys. You wanted to know about Sumner County. Tennessee. I don't know if they have anything on their page about missing people, though. Let's go to Sumner County Sheriff. Open cases. Sebastian's right at the top. Anywhere else you guys are wondering about? Yeah, she was wrong. She was wrong, and yeah, that's why I always look it up. Or if I don't know for sure, I will say, "Do you guys don't quote me?" Remember, I'll say that. Don't quote me. Is what I've heard, right? Because I don't want to ever want to be accused of giving you guys misinformation, right? Yeah, it'd be hard. I would feel bad, which I'm sure Jen would too. But oh, well, yeah, there's so much rumors out there, K9. Anybody can get things wrong. It's gonna happen, right? Um, Jen is not one that usually puts out misinformation, so um, she's it was just an error. People can make errors. That's all right. Right? Even me, I mean, I'm sure I made a few errors as well. So um I do try to look up my information before I give it to you guys, but you never know. I mean, things can change from one day to the next, so you never know what's going to happen. Um, but anyway, I did want to talk about abuse. And at the child safe, and all these tabs that I'm showing you guys are in the description, okay, for the video. But it says know the 10 signs of child abuse. Changes in behavior. Abuse can lead to many changes in behavior. Abused children often appear scared, anxious, depressed, withdrawn, or more aggressive. I'm thinking about Sebastian at the TRH, right? In my opinion, he did maybe look scared or anxious, right? It's hard to tell if he was depressed, but I think he did look scared and anxious. He was biting his nails, right? I also think she was telling him where he was going to go, right? Um, I'll try to make it bigger so you guys can see it. Is that a little better? Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? If they lawyered up with the police are actually probably glad they're going on live TV. I mean, anything that they say can be used in a court of law. So, um, yeah, I mean, just because they lawyer up with the police doesn't mean that they can't talk to anybody else. They can, and most of them won't, though. So, I'm sure the police are sitting back there just kind of chuckling because they know anything that she says they can use. So, it's okay, Robin. It's all right that she's doing that. I hope she just keeps talking and talking and talking, because every time she's on a live and it's analyzed, what do we hear? We hear about her deception. Yeah, they have to remember all those lies, and they don't remember them. So, all right. Returning to earlier behaviors right here, even before we even read the description of this, guys. What I think about is the bedwetting. How Chris and Katie said he was good for a while, and now all of a sudden he was wetting his bed again, right? Remember they said that? So there we go. Got the bedwetting going on. Yeah. Um, so abused children may display behavior shown at earlier ages. And remember, didn't Seth make the comment that they were talking about Sebastian as if when he was like a toddler? Remember, Seth made that statement. So, abused children may display behavior shown at earlier ages, such as thumb sucking, bedwetting, fear of the dark, or fear of strangers. For some children, even loss of acquired language or memory problems may be an issue. So, we've got two that fit, right? Fear of going home. What did Seth tell us that Sebastian told him? What did Seth tell us? That he didn't want to go back there. But he wouldn't tell Seth why. So we got number 3 that fits Sebastian. Fear of going home. Abused children may express apprehension or anxiety about leaving school or about going places with the person who is abusing them, or exhibit an unusual fear of a familiar person or place. Changes in eating. The stress, fear, and anxiety caused by abuse can lead to changes in a child's eating behavior, which may result in weight gain or weight loss. I guess we don't really know if this one fits, right? I mean, we know that they hid food away from him, things like that, but oh, that's sad. That's really sad. But yeah, when you think about it, I don't know that we can actually say this one fits because we don't know his eating patterns, right? You know, that would be something Seth would have known. Changes in sleeping. Abused children may have frequent nightmares or have difficulty falling asleep, and as a result may appear tired or fatigued. That can also be due to medications that they may be taking as well, guys. So we're not sure if that really fits either. Changes in school performance and attendance. Abused children may have difficulty concentrating in school or have excessive absences, sometimes due to adults trying to hide the child's injuries from authorities. We don't know if that existed, right? Lack of personal care or hygiene. Abused and neglected children may appear uncared for. They may present as consistently dirty and have severe body odor, or they may lack sufficient clothing for the weather. We don't know if that fits either. Risk-taking behaviors. Young people who are being abused may engage in high-risk activities such as using drugs or alcohol or carrying a weapon. Sebastian wasn't around that kind of thing, so that wouldn't have been an issue there. Inappropriate SA behaviors. Children who have been SA'd may exhibit overly sexualized behavior or use explicit sexual language and may exhibit symptoms of a genital infection. Unexplained injuries. Children who have been physically abused may exhibit unexplained burns or bruises in the shape of objects. You may also hear unconvincing explanations of a child's injuries. So we've seen a few there. Remember, CP said he liked doing it, so I can clearly see where the problem is coming from. Yeah. Yeah, and CB said Sebastian didn't have his meds for 20 days. That's true. But then being off his meds may cause other things. So there's a few things on here. We've wondered about bruises that we may or may not have seen, right? I mean, we kind of believe it, right? But we can't say for sure, right? So, but the first three for sure. Changes in behavior, right? He seemed scared and anxious, in my opinion, at TRH. And guys, tell me if you disagree with me, please. The returning to earlier behaviors, I think the bedwetting is a big issue. There may be more than that. Fear of going home, we know, was a problem, right? School performance and attendance, that was Sebastian's safe place, so I think he would have wanted to be there all the time. There's been some suggestion of the inappropriate S behaviors. I don't know yet, but we're going to get on that next, right? So, going over what we've gone over already, what do you guys... I mean, some people would say that this would be enough to make him run, right? See, I don't think so, Robin. I honestly believe that it happened at their house and not at Seth's. Why do I say that? Because he wasn't abused at Seth's house. So if he felt comfortable and not anxious, then he's going to be aware of what's going on in his body. But when he's there and he's afraid of being in trouble all the time and he's constantly on eggshells and afraid, and he's not going to be paying attention to his body's needs. So I believe that bedwetting could have happened. I don't think it was made up. I really don't. And the more that they got on him about it, the worse it got. Exactly. Run and not be seen. So um I think the whole problem comes in that he he was a problem for them. He was an embarrassment to Katie, I think. That's what I think. I think they felt they couldn't handle him anymore. Seth was probably telling them he didn't have those kinds of problems at his house. Um, I think that if they just would have went to Seth and said, "We need you to take him right now. We can't handle it anymore." I think Seth would have done it in a split second. Yes, and that's what we're going to get into next, Robin. Um, so I think there was a combination of factors that caused the bedwetting. I think it was not only the abuse, um, but being anxious, being scared, depressed, on eggshells. I honestly believe that will cause that. But let's get into the next thing. So this is WebMD. I try to use well-known sites that are known for their reliability versus, a site that's never heard of, right? So let's go over this one. Every child is different, and because of this, they generally tend to exhibit signs of being essayed differently. A child's age also influences how they will emotionally process abuse. If your child exhibits one or two of the following signs, it doesn't necessarily mean they have been abused, but the signs they do show could be reasonable grounds for further investigation on your part. Some signs that indicate a child aged 12 or younger has been sexual essayed include 12 years or younger. I didn't realize that, but let's go with it because obsession with their own and other people's genitals, making other children do sex play with them, especially younger children, whilst inappropriate sex play with a much younger child involving heavy genital touching, frequent sex play despite you talking to them and discussing why it may be invasive, a lot of masturbation, sexualized play with toys, playing games that involve toys or dolls getting frequently penetrated, peeping, exposing themselves or often speaking in obscenities, touching the genitals of adults or children who are strangers, being able to describe sex despite being a young child, sores around their mouth, bruising or bleeding in or around their abdomen, saying that they have a secret they can't tell you, or generally being more secretive, being withdrawn or anxious. Your child or child's peers tells you about their abuse, preferring to sleep with their clothes on, nightmares and issues sleeping, regressive behaviors, mysterious gifts and money, refusal to go to someone's house or engage in certain activities, subtly mentioning their abuse, suddenly acting younger than they are, and fear of touching. In older children, here we go. Some of the signs might include drug dependencies. I'm not going to say the word, but S attempts, self-harm or mutilation, eating disorders. Well, we know pregnancy doesn't apply to Sebastian. We know that he did not run away from home because there's no evidence that he did. Being withdrawn or angry often, heavily preoccupied with pornography, crying for no apparent reason, low self-esteem, trouble having or maintaining friendships, gets upset at the idea of a specific person. With Sebastian, we heard that he did not like Chris, right? Dresses differently. Well, I think Katie controlled that. Changes her friend circle. He didn't really, that wasn't an issue. Does worse at school. I think he liked school. It was his only out. Doesn't like doing activities they previously loved. Injuries, discomfort, bruises, or bleeding. So, yeah, I can't stand that kids go through this either. It's horrific. Very horrific. It's hard for me to even read it, honestly. Made me sick. Hello, Pitter Patter. Good to see you. Out of what I just read there, does any of those, the one thing that they didn't talk about in that process was bedwetting. And I know that bedwetting is one of the signs for SA, and it's not even in there. So I find that kind of weird. Oh, no worries, Ginger Girl. Happy you're here. You probably needed the sleep, knowing everything that's going on with you guys, you and Ginger. So I don't think we know enough of what was going on inside that house to know if any of these other things really, that if Sebastian had any of these signs, right? The abuse for sure fit, right? The abuse portion really did fit. SA, I mean, we don't know enough. We know that he was essayed himself, but what signs did he reveal? We don't know that. They haven't told us. And I worry, just like Seth did, that he wasn't getting the right therapy for what he went through, right? It's kind of a scary thought if you think about it. I then looked up, actually, it was sent to me. When DCS is called for in Tennessee, what your responsibilities as a parent are. So parents are responsible for providing all relevant information to DCS. They are responsible to inform the court and your family service worker of any special needs. This includes chronic or current health conditions, information about school and education, and any family customs or cultural practices important to your family or your child. So, I mean, This one right here covers, well, actually, this one does. All relevant information to DCS. They told DCS in Tennessee that Seth was not a part of his life. So here's my question. Didn't DCS gas Sebastian about that? Because I really think that Seth has a lawsuit here if he really wanted to. I think he could do something about this. They are to attend all court hearings and team meetings. They're to cooperate with their family service worker, participate in developing your child's permanency plan, participate in the services that are offered, and work on your child's permanency plan, including all duties the court may order you and other family members to complete. Attend health and medical appointments with your child when feasible, consent to medical treatment for your child, attend family therapy when prescribed, and participate in your child's treatment plan. Provide your child's family service worker with information about your progress toward the goals stated in your child's permanency plan and any changes in your life. Stay active and involved. Visit and communicate. Communicate any concerns that you have to the family social worker or to your lawyer. Pay child support. But I thought that was kind of interesting because this is the Tennessee Department of Children's Services, guys. So that's why I went there, because I wanted to see what do they expect of parents that have reports filed against them, right? $48, isn't it? Are they going to be on 48 hours, or are they going to be on America's Most Wanted? Yeah, I hate headaches, canine. Awful. I rarely get them. When I do, I'm kind of a baby about them. I hate them. Yes, he did. Um, and wasn't that about faith, though, I think? Or was it for this? I don't know. But I know he did, one way or another. America's Most Wanted. Yes, that's what I thought. Which really confused me, right? Because I thought, America's Most Wanted. Why is Sebastian on America's Most Wanted? Right? But they do talk about missing children, and because John Walsh heads it up, and his child. What, help me remember, guys. But wasn't John Walsh's child, and he was kidnapped or something, and then was red rummed, I believe, right? When I mean, I think that's what happened. The week has just been too much. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard losing our fur babies. It's difficult. They're just like our family members. But yeah, so you got to wonder what that last CPS report in January said. I really honestly believe it said he had to stay away from Sebastian. Was there other requirements? What, did he just outright refuse to do what they said? That's why he had to stay away from Sebastian. I mean, I'd like, to be a fly on the wall. His son was taken in a store with his mother. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, you fell asleep. I was gonna turn it on, but I was still kind of preparing for what I was gonna talk about. Um, it gets so hard to know what to talk about with Sebastian because there's, like Gen Z says, it is somewhat going cold. Hi, Poppy Love. Good to see you. Um, and there's no new news, so you have to think of things to talk about other than just come on. Well, let's talk about Sebastian today. What are we going to say, right? I like to have some kind of a focus and direction, and sometimes it's just difficult to know what to talk about. You know, um, I think we've covered so much in the year, right? It's amazing, um, the things we've been able to glean in this case. But I really, really pray, and even at night it is saying, they need our help. They need us to be putting his name and his face out there, right? Yeah, he would probably know, but he has to be very careful about what he shares because he could get in trouble. And they're watching, right, Melissa? You know that they're watching, waiting for him to slip up, right? Yeah, the hiding of the reports. Well, I think that, it's like I said on this one here, parents are responsible for providing all relevant information. So if Chris and Katie told them that Seth wasn't a part of his life, do they not do their own independent investigation and talk to other people? I mean, seriously, did they not even talk to Sebastian and ask Sebastian um, whether he sees his dad? I mean, seriously. Um, I have heard that CPS worker um, was fired. I'm Again, that's something that I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Um, Either way, I think Seth could have a good lawsuit. Yeah, he can't say anything. Hello, Fred. What exactly is At Night? At Night is an intelligence agency um, that is working with Dog, Seth, and Nick and Hong work for them. Um, yeah, intelligence gathering organization. That's what they are. And hello, Fred. Good to see you. Why would they need YouTubers' help? Think about it. They're one agency, right? Um, if everyone that follows them and then their followers and then their followers, if so, for example, I see what At Night posts and I take and I share it out there. All the people that I'm connected to get to see it, Sebastian's face, and then each one of them, and it goes on and on and on. There are still people out there who do not know that Sebastian is missing. That's why, not necessarily YouTubers, but social media. They need it out there on social media because there are still people across all platforms, not just YouTube, guys. All platforms, Facebook, Discord, which I can't stand, um, X, Pinterest. I've been doing it on Pinterest even, Instagram, and I know that there's others out there as well. Um, Sharing Sebastian's name and face out there so that if somebody sees him, they know, oh, hey, that's that missing kid. 911, right? That's what it's for. That's what they need it for. To get his name and his face out there. So that does tell you that, here's the thing, guys. When I think about this reward right here, $347,000. Somebody's got to know something out there. Who's not talking? Was it all family? Because family is going to be afraid to come out and say something, right? $347,000 is a lot of money. Why isn't the person or persons that knows what's going on, knows what happened, why are they not speaking? Any ideas? Why aren't they talking, guys? Because, Sebastian wasn't carried out on his own. He didn't walk out, even with somebody's help, because there was no scent. He had to have been carried. Do you honestly think one person carried him out of the house to a vehicle and went away with them? That nobody else was involved? Anybody? Seriously, do you think one person could have done it? I mean, we had the same question with Brian Koberger, didn't we? Right? Many people think that Brian couldn't have done it by himself. And this is a heck of a lot easier. It's just carrying one teenage boy, 120 pounds, out of the house into a car. Could one person have done it, or do you think it was more than one? Hello. I don't think we've ever asked that question before, have we? So put a one in chat if you think that it was only one person. Put a two in chat if you think it was more than one person. No clue, scared, maybe, involved, maybe, family, maybe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Afraid of going to jail, maybe. Right, Canine? Afraid of going to jail, maybe. Two. You think it was more than one person, Canine? Yeah, I do too. I think it could have been possible that only one person did it? Yeah, but we saw two flashlights, didn't we? More than one. Yeah. Ginger, more than one. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think there might be at least three, in my opinion. The reason I say that, I think one was the driver of the car, and then we had the two flashlights. So I think it might be at least three. Which one of those three is gonna melt first and say something, you think? You know, I wish we knew which three they were, but I would have thought someone would have broken down by now and said something. Yeah, I agree. I think more than three people know. Yes. You know, you have a really good point there, Ginger. Very well planned because of the lack of physical evidence, for sure. Very well planned. Yeah. You know, this case, what was it? Only a week. This case is going to be talked about in the history books, right? He was confident of that, right? They'll only roll to save themselves. Yeah. Think the getaway driver will say something first? I don't know. What if the getaway driver was Mama or Papa B? Then do you think they'll say something first? I don't have no. I would say no. If it's one of those two, I would say no. They're not. If I was gonna say who I thought would roll first, it would be CP, in my opinion, if he's involved. But I guess the real question is, what is it going to take, right? What is it going to take? How much money? Or is it not about money? Is it not about money? So did Sebastian get in trouble for self-reporting abuse because he was just being punished for bad behavior? Probably. Either way, he shouldn't have been getting himself in trouble for self-reporting. He found his voice. He found his safe place. And it's sad. It's so sad. You think it's about money, Canine? I don't know. I don't for some reason, I don't think so. And I'm not exactly sure why I think that way. I think because I they have enough, you know what I'm saying? There you go, Melissa. It's about not going to prison. What about a plea deal, though, right? Luis Rivera got a plea deal. What did he end up with, though? He ended up, I think it was it 19 years? Let me look. Um, yeah, pled guilty to second-degree red rum and was sentenced to 19 years in prison. So, I guess plea deals aren't that great either. Because if you're heading to 40, that means you're probably not gonna get out till you're just about 60, right? That's not real. And if you're 60, you know you're gonna die probably in prison. Lots of ways for money to be involved, paying people off, channels making money to distract. Yeah, but what I'm really talking about is the reward amount, right? You know, they don't do they care about the reward money or no? You know, is it the money or no? As far as the reward is what I'm saying. Yes, we know that channels are being paid money for causing distractions. Um, you know, people being paid off, I'm sure, to stay quiet, getaway driver, that kind of stuff. But um yeah, I mean, I'm certain of that, but what will it take for them to roll if $347,000 isn't enough, right? Um, Prison is a good answer. They don't want to go to prison. Um, of course, with the Dan Markel case, Luis Rivera was an accomplice to Red Rum. We don't know that Sebastian has been red rummed. As far as we know, he is alive. So this would be considered a kidnapping, right? So I don't know what the penalty in Tennessee is for kidnapping. I believe from 3 to 5 have the answers. I have a number 1 that I think will sing first, followed by CP. You think so? So you don't CP's not your number 1. Can I ask who your number 1 is, Factory Girl? No, the reward, they have the money, but not everyone does. I also think they were going to talk, it would have happened already. Um, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see that. But that doesn't mean they won't ever, because if somebody's brought in and they sing, I mean, you never know. They may get tired, right? they just may be getting tired. The pressure's been on this case, guys. I hate to say that it's even going cold, right? I hate that. I hate to even think it. Because what happens with cold cases, guys? People stop talking about them. Right? But and it's not necessarily that we want to stop talking about it, but here's the thing. Yeah, are you going to make stuff up after a while, right? I mean, that's where the drama comes in, and you guys know I'm not about that, right? So if it means that I have to only do Sebastian maybe 3 times a week or 2 times a week because I have nothing to share, that's what'll have to happen versus trying to do drumming up some kind of drama about him, right? But it's true. Another creator said this, and it is absolutely true. The minute that we put up a different hashtag that we're talking about something else, we don't get the same amount of views. But the minute we put hashtag Sebastian Rogers, no matter what we're talking about, we get more views. It's crazy, right? Crazy, stupid, whatever. But I will not stop talking about Sebastian until or unless there's some kind of, until he's home, one way or another, right? Yeah, there is no new information. And at some point, you run out of angles to talk about, right? You just do, you know? Look at how much time that Chris from the Mob Crew has had to review that flashlight footage. I mean, he has it down to a T, guys, now, right? Same thing with that car. He's constantly working on it and figuring out speed and everything else, right? He's got a lot of time to do that. um, but there's going to come a time when he doesn't have any more information coming in. He'll have to talk about something else, just like, the rest of us. And it's sad. Hello, Jean Ann. Good to see you. It's really sad because I'd like nothing more than to keep talking every day, keep his face out there every day, hoping that somebody is going to come onto YouTube and see hashtag Sebastian and come on in and learn that he's missing, right? Yeah. That is something I just do not understand. People are calling for searches. How can you do searches if you have no ideas where to search? And what are you looking for? Are you looking for a dead person? What are you looking for? Guys, if God forbid somebody did something to him that night, he could be anywhere. Law enforcement let Chris leave for 17 hours. 17 hours he was gone. What was he doing during that 17 hours, guys? Where'd he go? When that car left at 3 o'clock with who he believes Sebastian to be in it, where'd they go? It could be anywhere. Anywhere. I honestly believe that if Sebastian is gone from this earth, at some point a hunter or somebody's going to come upon him, a fisherman, hunter, somebody dragging a river for somebody else, he will come up, right? He will turn up. Maybe not when we want him to, but he will turn up. The only search that I can see feasibly being done is if they have leads and tips, which At Night alluded to several months ago in different cities, one of which was only a couple hours away from where I live, Seymour, Wisconsin. And those I can understand. Getting, a good amount of people to flood that area with flyers and to kind of do a reconnaissance effort, to be watching and waiting and put at strategic positions because there's farms everywhere, right? To just keep an eye out for Sebastian in those areas. I get that, and I could get on board with that. I could understand that. But, searching for dead people, for a dead person, no. I can't get behind it. I just don't agree with it. Because then you're not looking for a person who's alive. And he may very well still be alive. We have no evidence to prove otherwise. Yes, right? We've all seen the interviews over and over. And you can look at them from all different kinds of angles, right, guys? But honestly, we're done. I don't want to see another panel interview from that Truth podcast. I just do not. I yeah. How much more are you going to talk about? I think we all know by heart some of those things that they've said, right? I mean, how many of us can quote some of CP's comments? It's not just me, right? I had somebody in my comments say, "You talk like you know them." Well, I feel like I know them. I have been living, sleeping, eating, breathing this case for a year. I feel like I know them. Oh, a sibling. Gotcha. Oh, that's a really good thought. I like that idea. Yeah, because sibling probably doesn't need the money. But like I said, is sibling getting tired of living with this? Right? Is sibling getting tired of living with this? I mean, think about it. If you knew something about a case that's been all over the media and there's a $347,000 reward out, and you knew exactly what happened, but you were told, threatened even, to be quiet. How long do you think you could live with that information without doing the right thing? I know my answer would be not very long. I wouldn't. I'd secretly go to the police, or I'd secretly make an anonymous tip. Because I don't. I know myself. I wouldn't be able to live with that knowledge. So, anybody's out there thinking that I could keep a big secret for them that's against the law, don't ask. Don't ask, because this lady couldn't do it. I couldn't. Just could not. But then, not everybody has integrity or morality. Some people will even put family above all else, even over integrity or morality, right? I just don't think I could. Just don't think I could. Sad. Very sad. But I don't know. I hate to think that the case is becoming cold. What else did Jen Coffin ever have to say? I really meant to go on there and I totally got sidetracked. Other than the case being cold. The sibling already interjected a time into the sequence of events that conflicts with the others. Guys, LE's watching that. They know it. It's you can't help but thinking is wish they had a really good detective who knew how to ask the right questions. Right? But it's a small town. Oh, and she was talking about the Summer Wells case too. Yeah. Huh. Guys, how did that family know so much about the Summer Wells case? Just saying. Were they honestly out on these YouTube streets before Sebastian went missing? Do any of you ever remember seeing them? Were they in Summerwell's chats, things like that? Factory Girl, I'm going to show you something. Here, let's see, I got to share my screen. Jen was wrong. She got some misinformation. And I don't know where she got it from, but she's wrong. Here is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Sebastian's right at the top. Active missing child alert. Sebastian is right at the top of the page. He is also on the FBI's list. He is also at the top of Sumner County list. So, guys, if anybody else tells you that Sebastian is not, sorry, I'll show it again. Okay. Okay. Here is the Tennessee active missing child alerts right at the top. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. This is the FBI list. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Kidnapping and missing persons. FBI most wanted. Sebastian is right there. Sumner County. Open cases. Sebastian's right at the top. So, yeah, guys, don't let misinformation spread, okay? Because it's not true. Yeah, you could have a mountain of evidence pointing at people, but not enough to convict or find the victim. And that's, I think, what's happened in this case so far. Yes. Trust but verify. Absolutely. It doesn't mean that Jen Coffindaffer is not a good place to get information. She is a professional. I deeply, deeply respect her. You know, um, she just so happens to be wrong. Maybe she was looking and she looked in the wrong place. I don't know. But I pulled it up right in front of everybody here earlier on in this broadcast and showed everybody how easy it was for me to find it. So, um, I I don't know if maybe she had somebody else looking and they couldn't find it. Sometimes you have an assistant who's not very good. I mean, it could, who knows? But yeah, trust but verify. Yeah. Yeah. I think last night we heard that, didn't we? On our show. And he said he didn't know the Wells, but he knew about the case. He brought him up. He talked about him. Yeah. He's talked about him on several different interviews and even in live chats and stuff. And it's kind of ironic that the interview room says that it reminded them, this case reminded them of the Summer Wells case. Why? Did they do some research first, guys? I don't know, right? But yeah. Um just a sad situation. I'm gonna continue talking about Sebastian as much as I possibly can, guys. But just know there are other missing persons cases too that we can talk about that I hope you'll follow with me. Um, that are, even Katie said it, just as important as Sebastian. Although I think she would love to have that happen and have him not be seen anymore at all, in my opinion. My opinion, guys. But I will keep showing Sebastian. I will keep putting his face out there every single day, guys. Every single day. And my porch will be lit up green until he's home. Or until I die, whichever happens first. At this point, you never know what's going to happen. It's been a year already. It's awful. It's awful. But don't forget, we are on the road to 1,500 subscribers. Guys, share my lives. You know, your help would be appreciated. Tell your friends. And when we do hit 1,500, we'll go live and we'll have a giveaway just for that. My grannyism for today kind of goes along with what we were talking about with abuse. The scars you can't see are the hardest to heal. So whether we saw bruises on Sebastian or not, whether we saw that, whether it's true that he was wetting the bed or not, the scars that are on the inside are the ones we can't see. And those are the ones that are hardest to heal. Wow. Guys, I got to tell you, this topic, this topic is too heavy. I do not like talking about it. Nope. And if you know of anybody that is being abused, whether it's child abuse or SA, there are the numbers on the screen for that. I agree with you, Melissa. The ones involved are just trying to ride it out until it gets cold. But you know what? Will it get cold if everybody's talking about Sebastian a couple times a week? I mean, I don't know. Well, hi, Nathan. Hopefully charges coming soon for the child abuse at least. You know, you'd like to think so, right? Really like to think so. Um, you know, when they talk on America's Most Wanted, I hope they say more than they should. You know, think about it, guys. It has got to be really hard for them to come out and speak. And I'm talking about CP and KP, right? Because they're analyzed to death after they speak. And guys, it isn't just us and the statement analysis, behavior analysis that are doing it. Law enforcement is doing the same thing, right? They are. And Nathan, I have thought that, I think several of us here have thought that those charges haven't gone out yet because they want Sebastian. I think they're afraid to press charges right now because if he's alive out there and someone has him, they could harm him. Yeah. And you know, here's the thing, it's not a matter of being tired about it, and I know that's just, your terminology, you didn't mean it that way. But it's a matter of there's nothing to talk about, and guys, it gets really hard to pull things out of thin air to talk about without going over the same things again. You know, I don't want to do that to you guys. Yeah, Nathan. I mean, and we could possibly be wrong, but Sebastian is the key. Um, I mean, they can use his statements that he made to press charges without him. But I think that they're afraid that if he's in some kind of situation that the parents placed him in, they're afraid that he's going to be harmed, right? If it can be showing evidence wise that Chris spent any time in Hendersonville on that Sunday, is that enough for circumstantial? No. No. Um, because I think they already have that with the geofencing. of his truck. Okay, yell at me, Canine. um, I think they have his truck dead to rights. Um, in geofencing in Hendersonville. Um, but it's not enough, I don't think. You know, they'd have to have some kind of, well, here's what the DA has said. He needs blood, clothing, or Sebastian. Or at the very least, they need to see Katie and Chris putting him in a car, sending him off somewhere, something like that, right? That would be circumstantial because that would be showing they sent him away and then they reported him missing, right? Oh, I know, Factory Girl. She says, I hope that America's Most Wanted does not agree to predetermined questions. Yeah, I hope not. I know. It's like Canine always yells at me. She lets me know. Truck mother, mother truck. He cannot talk about CP's triggers, truck and his mother. Oh, yes, and yes. The DA in this county will not prosecute circumstantial cases. Um, and Tennessee, from what I've heard, again, guys, this is something I've heard. I should have looked it up. I haven't, but I will just say it. I've heard that Tennessee is a no body state. If you don't have a body, you don't have a conviction. Doggone DA needs to retire. He's 81 years old. He's got too much power. The man needs to retire. He's 81. Enough. We should have term limits. He has been in that position for 40 years, guys. Come on. That's ridiculous. Yeah. That is very discouraging. That is very discouraging. I mean, as far as we're aware, there isn't. Right? I've been looking because I heard somebody say, I thought I saw it somewhere that they did luminol. I've been trying to find it. I can't find it, but I thought they did some kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I agree, K9. CP and KP were going to look just like they did on Nancy Grace, overdrugged or something. I can't help it, guys. That's what they look like to me. Oh, man. Would not shock me if this had blood multiple. It would not shock me either. Yes. Yes, he was. And he was at the command center that week as well. And tell me, guys, tell me, how many DAs do you see at a command center of a missing child? Anybody? That would be awesome, Charlie. Hello, good to see you. Maybe the TV show will air Crispy's previous YouTube comments. That would be awesome. The spicy ones, right? Yeah, Yeah, Seth is going on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time on his channel, guys. The link to where that will be on his channel is at the top of our chat tonight. Just click on that and hit the notification button, and you'll be notified when he goes live tomorrow night. And yes, I hope he gives us information. Zombies, drug zombies, in my opinion. Yeah, Tony and Seth swear the case is not cold and something could happen. And something could happen at any point in time, guys, right? I mean, I I honestly, with all my heart, believe there's only just a couple puzzle pieces missing, but they're the biggest pieces. They're the most important pieces, right? So, I just I was waiting for Chris to go Jack Nicholson, Few Good Men on Nancy. I think I think Chris was scared of Nancy. That's my opinion. I think he was scared of her. To Mr. Proudfoot, to Mr. Proudfoot, to Mr. Proudfoot. Oh my gosh. Oh. Yeah, I don't think they know him either. The real question is, um, do the stinky feet and dirty socks know the DA? That's the real question. Because we do know that Holly Thompson, who's a friend of the family, knows the DA very well. I didn't look at his eyes. Do you guys sleep in the same bed? Well, they don't. If he's off work and they're not sleeping in the same bed. Yes. I love hearing from Seth too, but I always end up crying right along with him. It's so hard. And then I have a headache from crying after I'm done watching him. Honestly, I look forward to it. And then right as it's about to start, it's like, oh, I don't want to watch this because my heart bleeds for him. And I cry right along with him. There are some municipalities that have the DA assistants, etc., along at the start of a case. Okay. So you have known that then. Um, but it wasn't an investigation, and you know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily criminal. They were doing a search for Sebastian, a missing child. Why was the DA there is my question, right? I understand the DA being involved once it went to an investigative case, right? Where they stopped searching on ground by foot and air, but it went to investigation internal. Then I understand the DA getting involved because it could be criminal at that point. Why was he there that first week when it was on the ground search? I'm just saying, very suspicious to me. Nancy should make a surprise visit to America's Most Wanted. I wonder, is a whole hour going to be for them? Yeah, law enforcement has more info than we do. We just know what we know, and that's probably why it's not cold LE. Um, yeah, yeah. CP pulled his coward card for sure. Oh man. Oh, right, Nathan? It is. Following this case for so long, we lose track of every single red flag all put together. It is absolutely overwhelming. It really is. Um, and you begin to, like, there are times when I think, I wished I would have taken notes. But you know what? Over the course of a year, I would have had several notebooks of notes. And then where do you look, even at that point, right? So, um, yeah, it's overwhelming. You start, well, I remember hearing this, but did I hear that? Or was that a rumor? Or was that fact? Or, it's just, it's so hard to keep together. But I've really tried to stick with the facts. And anything that I do bring out that I know for sure, um, is a rumor, I'll say that I've heard. But maybe the CPS reports got the DA involved. That could very well be. Oh man, Charlie, that's awful. We need more than that. We need more than that. But yeah, oh, you know, you don't think Sebastian's going to be the whole show? Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't even know if it was a surety when I came on tonight, so I'm just going by what people are saying. Um, so I don't know. you know, um, Seth would Seth would be fine because for him it's all about Sebastian. So it'd be a matter of Chris and Katie just behaving, right? Because Seth's going to do whatever it takes. He don't care. He's going to do whatever it takes to keep Sebastian's name out there. So, you know, and he's probably going to let us know tomorrow what's going on with it. In any forum with Chris together at the same time. Um, well, I think in a case like this, where they're just kind of letting the public know that Sebastian's missing and getting his name out there, I think that's the biggest thing, the reason for them being on this program. But I mean, as far as discussion back and forth kind of forum, no, those two should not ever be together at the same time. I agree with you 100% on that. Um, I know. Uh, you couldn't get me to be in the same room with Chris, honestly. I give Seth a lot of credit. Ah, pre-filmed separately. Yeah, that makes sense. They'll get Seth's comments and then and yeah, that makes sense. They did that on a few other ones, right? They took Seth's comments on one clip and then they played Chris and Katie separately. That makes sense, Charlie. Absolutely. Someone said they should put Seth and CP back in the green room together. I don't know. I no. No. We don't need any fighting going on. I don't think that'd be a good idea. I don't think that'd be a good idea at all. It'll be, I mean, I'm glad it's getting out there, but um I really, really hope and pray that they find him. That maybe more tips will come in because of this. You never know, guys. Okay, K9. Yeah, I'm gonna run 2 as well, guys. So um just remember, scars you can't see are the hardest to heal. Um if you see something, please say something. I wonder what relationship may exist with any Sumner County officials in the Sockfoot clan. I don't know. I don't know. But um I'll leave that up to the authorities. The FBI is involved as well, guys, so it's okay. If there's corruption anywhere, they'll find it. It'll be found. And we can also pray toward that end as well. So, all right, guys, thank you for being here. Don't forget to light it up green for Sebastian. Hit the like button, please, 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 on your way out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we go live. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.